data from? On what basis?
Well, I studied us as a people. I interviewed black men and black women across the country. See, Phil, the problem we have here is one of behavior, interpretation, and definition. 99% of the black men say my book is true. We can't dismiss that, no matter what we think about it.
What 99% you talking about?
I don't see...
The poll that I've taken out of my book.
Well, I don't see where the fact of where she got the information has anything to do with the validity in the statement. And what I hear constantly is, where do you get your data? Is the information incorrect? If it's incorrect, then I think then you need to examine where it came from. But if it's not,
Sounds
then
like
why?
you agree with the book.
Well, I do agree with a lot of the statements made in the book. But what I'm addressing now is what she said.
Yeah. You're upset at the challenge to her authority.
Well, I mean, I don't see where the question has any importance to what's going on.
Okay, hang on one second. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just wondering, how did the white women's liberation movement hurt you? You mentioned that earlier.
Well, it did, because prior to that time, we were standing with our men and our children, trying to make a way for our families and get what we thought we deserved here in the form of equality and opportunity. But once we got on your side, then it made it appear as if we were just with women against men. That was because of the argument that you all had with the white man, which is not our business. I'm trying to deal with this.
Yes, sir.
As she said, in the 60s, a lot of black women were pulled away from the black liberation struggle by white women who said, we as women have suffered a common oppression, which is gender specific. Little attention was paid to the fact that white women have benefited and been active participants in the oppression.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you think that everybody has their own choice as a person, which way they want to go, as far
Well,
as
we
the
had
black
one
or
before y'all
white?
brought us here as slaves. We used to have choices.
I don't
we
think
used
it
to
has
have a
anything
choice.
to do with the way the white woman is. Maybe that we had it better off, and you thought, wait, if you come to
Well,
our
certainly
side,
you had it better off.
it was
you
yeah,
have
but
it
it
better
was
off
our
now.
choice.
You have benefited
And now
the
the
most.
black women, they like the way we
Well,
live,
see, all
and
of
they
that
want to
being
live
my
the
own
same way.
person and
But it has nothing
individuality,
to
y'all
do
didn't
with.
tell us that would lead to separation and loneliness, and that's what it did.
But it was your choice. It was
Well,
your
it was a
choice
choice
as a
where we
woman.
had been
It's
influenced.
your choice as a woman, which way you want to go. You
It
want to
wasn't
come to
our
our
choice
side.
to come here.
You come to our side. It's your
Sir.
Essentially, when I read the book, it said that the black man was the one that was supposed to develop the black woman. Now, I'd like to know, no matter how much the black woman is developed or submissive to the black man, how does that make him feel any more a man or put him in any better position than he is now?
We have to rebuild our men. We have to try to help give him confidence. As a mother and the first teacher, we are in a position to do that. God made a man and a woman so that they could complement each other in each nationality. So we have to help rebuild our men. That's something that we do out of love.
Over here, Miss Ali.
You know, your book is very destructive. I've read Hakeem's book, I've read your book. Hakeem's book is about black men and women being complementary to each other, loving each other, supporting each other, dealing with the weaknesses and the strengths and the positiveness. And his book is instructional. It's not a read-through, it's a study. It's not a destruction, it's a manual for African-American men and women and children. All I have heard from you is negativity. This is what I call the black man's guide to misunderstanding the black woman.
Well, what we have...
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I want to just go back to the question of your research, because I think that whoever said that research was not important, I think that is totally erroneous. And it would be let me finish. And it would be unprincipled of you not to state clearly and precisely where you did get your data. And the other question I have for you is, are you saying then that submission and cooperation are one and the same? Because I would like to know that.
Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm saying that. And, yes. And now in regard to what you said before about my research, as I said, I've gone over that over and over. We have a situation where I am trying to teach our people that we have lost the principles and values that we came here with. The use of bibliography and footnotes is very recent history, only about 300 years. So that's not our standard. That's not our practice. That's one that the white people have set up because of their distrust. I don't have any responsibility to follow any of the rules you all follow. I am trying to give us a new set of rules of how we can be successful. Our educated class has failed us.
We are in New York City talking about one of the most controversial books since Salman Rushdie wrote one. The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Shahrazad Ali, its author, and we'll be back to let this audience in just a moment.
I'm from the Shrine of Ptah, and in the study of our ancient Nile Valley culture, which is the first culture established by African people, we find a system of complementary balance between the male and female. Because most of the African people in the diaspora grow up under the Shemitic system of patriarchal systems, we have lost our way. We need to get back into the African system of the equal balance.
Are you there, caller? I'm glad you waited. Hi, go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead. I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, okay, all right. What I quickly want to say is the fact that I believe that this book has become a more divisive tool between the black man and the black woman than more of making a black man understand what a black woman is all about. Number two, she still has not told us where she's gotten the data from. I'd like to ask Sister Ali, where did you get your data from? What age group of men did you speak to? What cities did you go to? We still haven't had that question answered.
All right. Miss Ali, commenting.
I interviewed 379 black men who were either married to or dating white women. I interviewed over 100 black women who were either married or dating black women, and over 1,000, nearly 1,200 black men and black women around the country. But what I found is that we don't have a control group. There was no point in me listing everybody's name in the back of the book. What was y'all going to do, call them all up? The point is that by putting their names, you know, by not including that, then what I'm trying to say is that we have a collective problem that affects all of the people. There was no point in doing that.
Haki Madabudi, editor, publisher, Third World Press, one of the oldest black publishing houses in the country. You are an educator, sir, director of the Institute of Positive Education. You've written 16 books yourself, the latest of which is titled, certainly to the point, Black Men, Obsolete, Single, Dangerous? A question mark follows. He was also, you've also published the rebuttal to the Black Men's Guide called Confusion by Any Other Name. Here's your answer to Miss Ali's book.
Well, everybody's trying to benefit.
You'll make your case, sir, and I know you'll do so as briefly as possible.
You know, it's
Please give the gentleman your attention.
it's rough when ignorant people talk about how ignorant other people are. I think that Miss Ali has misstated the case. Her book is not political. It's ahistorical. About every page in the book blames black women. She does not go to the book to read from the book because the book is inaccurate. Everything from telling the woman's brain is smaller than the black man's brain, that essentially the male violence is okay within the context of the home, that I think we have to begin to realize that if Fannie Lou Hamer had this book, if Sojourner Truth had this book, if Harriet Tubman or any of our great women who have essentially led us to freedom had this book, they would throw it away. That the content of the book is not developmental. The content of the book is divisive. Everything from the language that she uses. I mean, she used savage in the book 27 times. It's just one example, calling black women savages. I think it's very clear that we live in a world that is ruled by men, no doubt about that. It is a world that is ruled primarily by white men, okay? Now, the world is not working. It is not working. And anytime you hold down one half of the species, it's not going to work. I'm saying now, since the world, it's to go backwards 100 years to say that now the black man must enslave black women in order for us to develop.
We're not talking
It's absolutely,
slavery, brother.
that's what you're talking about.
We're not talking slavery.
May I share with this audience just one excerpt
Some
from...
people are into denial. Phil, don't go to the back of the book. Let's start in the front.
Well,
I know what you're going to do.
what am
Now,
I
you
going
know
to do?
I know by now.
Tell me what I'm going to do. What am I going to read? Am I going to read?
Read from the book. Read from the book. Go ahead. See yourself.
Analyzing the options available to the black man when the black woman's mouth becomes uncontrollably disrespectful. They total only a few. 1, he can walk away, leave the house, get drunk. 2, he can go out, go to his other woman and complain. 3, he can quit the relationship, leave the woman. 4, he can try to argue back and lose. 5, he can seek counseling or sympathy from friends. 6, or he can offer her a sound, open-handed slap in the mouth.
All right, let me respond.
You can't be proud of that, Miss
Let me
Olive.
respond. I'm proud of this entire project. It's helping my people purge. Now, let me respond. Okay?
Go ahead.
I really expected more creativity. I'm so tired of that one. But initially, when black women were upset about that remark, certainly we know that domestic violence is at an all-time high in the black community. I would never advocate that. But currently, the black man is stabbing us. He is kicking us. He is murdering us. He's dragging us through the street. I mean, he's doing everything to us. I'm trying to put some direction and restriction on that. There's not a black man in the world who can read my book up to page 180 and think that I am telling him to be violent against a black woman. That's impossible.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
It's not impossible.
Now, we have a lot of black men who are into denial because we have bullied our man, and we have terrorized him. The black women in the media have bullied the black man, and they have caused a media blackout on my project, and they have bullied him.
The major problem, well, look here, wait a minute.
Mr.
What we gonna do?
Sir.
Anytime someone does not agree with him, if he's a man, he becomes a wimp. If a woman, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. If a woman doesn't agree with him, then she doesn't have a man. I'm saying anytime you cannot have dialogue or dissent, then it's no way to develop.
We're trying to have
now,
unity.
let me just
you can't
finish
have
it.
unity and separation at the same time.
The major point that she misses in the book, other than blaming the black woman, is she let the white man off the hook. That essentially what happened.
No. We have been blaming the white man. We can't change white people. We don't spend 30 years trying to do
I'm
that.
not trying to change
ourselves.
But you cannot blame black women for the demise of the black race.
I'm blaming us for one half of the responsibility, and you all have the other half.
You don't say that in the book.
I don't have to say that. You all talk about what I didn't do. Y'all didn't do nothing.
Yes. Are you there, caller? I'm glad you waited. Hi.
Hello?
Let me get this call on. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, I'd like to say to Miss Ali that I've read your book from cover to cover. And, hello?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yes, I've read your book from cover to cover, and I'd like to say that you brought up a few points in the book that may apply to a few people. And you took that and you built a whole house of cards around it. And we as the black people have to come together. These house of cards will not weather the storm in our years to come. We have so much, we're facing so much. In the political arena, so many derisive things are facing us. This will not bring us together. We have to come together. Not him walking behind me or I'm walking behind him. We have to join hands and work together to get through the things that are going to be that are facing us. I'm a young black woman.
Walking together started after I wrote this book. Prior to that time, we was walking on them. See, that's all new now. Now we want to have unity, and that's what I'm trying to get us to have.
Jesse Peterson, director and founder of a grassroots organization called BOND, Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. And you, what would you like to say as you listen in on this?
First, I'd like to say that BOND is rebuilding the black community by rebuilding the black man. And what Miss Ali is stating in his book is right on the money. It's very true. But what happened, the black man has failed, and because of that, the black woman has to take the responsibility of the black man, and she can't handle the responsibility. Right. And what she has done, because of her weakness, she has destroyed her children because she's not able to handle the household.
But what destroyed her children? Talk badly about their father?
Talk badly about the father. Talk badly about the father.
You don't have to be black for this to happen, but go ahead.
I know, but this is what happened in the black community because
we're concerned with us now.
If you look back at our history for a long ways back, the black man has not been the head of his household.
That's right.
And so what Bond is doing is understanding how this woman that she speaks of in the book has destroyed the black man. What happened to his strength? What happened to his decision-making? And we find that also what happened to white liberals, the way that they have separated the black woman, they're giving the black woman welfare, they're giving the black woman better opportunities for jobs.
That's right.
And so the black woman is on a throne feeling like she's better than the black man.
That's right.
And that's why the black community is failing, because if the black woman look at this, it's going to have to say, you have to step down and let your black man, well, she don't have to do it, but the black man has to understand what's wrong with him.
That's right.
And take that position back.
So if there's a black family without a, let me just understand this, help the gray-haired guy here. If there's a black family without a father, you're not surprised who would want to come home to a house where she's talking like that and has that attitude toward him? And the children see this behavior and we pass it along from generation to generation.
Verbal abuse has been recorded as being just as violent as physical abuse.
Yes, it has.
What you have to realize, Phil, it's out of order for a woman to be head of her family. And she just cannot deal with that. And so when the kids come home, because she knows that she can't handle it, she's angry already. And she's passing this down. So in return, it's causing conflict in the black man.
And her daughters are growing up to believe that all black men are bums.
You can look at
feeding and clothing a child is not raising it.
That's right.
It takes more than that. We need the black man in our home because they provide guidance, direction, instruction, discipline, gratification, and fulfillment, which a lot of black women are pretending they don't even need no more. They run around trying to act like men.
We'll be back in a moment.
Say I support the sister 100%, and I think that as a nation, we all brothers and sisters should get together and work together with one another and stop all of this misunderstanding and confusion.
To be sure. Sir.
Right now, I feel we as black people are talking, women and men, no matter what device was used to get us to talk, we are now talking as black man and a black woman.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Simply that Miss Ali speaks to education, she speaks to parenting, she speaks to attitudes, but she does not in any place here give steps, concepts, ideologies. You only attack the African-American woman for what she has not done. You do not give directions.
Okay.
You do not give sound advice.
The purpose of the book was to describe our
Ms. Ali,
collective behavior of the negative patterns
you have
of behavior
described
that
your
affect us.
concept of collective
and I
behavior,
can do it any way
not
I want
the
to, and that's why I did
African-American
it that
woman's
way.
concept
That's right.
of collective
and black
behavior.
Men,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
black men interpret this book differently from black women. We read it differently because we are different.
Listen, I'm very upset, and I didn't want to get emotional about this, but I'm a mother, and I'm upset with this young man and yourself. Some of the statements you make in there, you're saying all the derogatory things we do. I have raised 2 boys by myself. My husband is dead. I work, I go to school, I raise my 2 sons. One of them in college right now. The other one is in high school. They're nice, young, balanced men, and they don't have any. I have never said a bad thing about a black man. And one of the things is that you say in your book, you don't say anything that we nurture. I work in the community. I work in the church.
Book.
So what you should be, if you're going to bring out grievances, you should bring out 2 sides to a topic.
The book is to explain. And wait a minute. What we have the problem we have is that when we as black women raise our children along, especially our boy children, they take on the emotional mechanism of the black female. And we can't help but get emotional because we are emotional. Our emotions are out of control, sister. See, this here runs the temperature up. But it's all right. This is going to be okay. Just try to handle it. Read the book slow. Don't read it fast.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yes,
New York Times, you all get it, page 36. Time magazine, I'm sorry. Shows on page 36, it says the decline of New York. A picture is worth 1,000 words. You see a man here attacking a black woman, a black man attacking a black woman with 2 white cops trying to save her life. And right next to it, you look at it, you see 2 white people sunbathing supposedly on a depraved and see the dilapidated dock. Now, if you watch this particular scenario about attacks, sister, we are, as black men, constantly being attacked by the kind of rhetoric that you see in the media. And the media now has been part and parcel responsible for giving us or engendering us with this type of scenario to what we're having right here now.
She agrees.
And right now, but you see, every time we look at the African woman, we see her as the victim and the black man as the one inflicting. So now we're talking about the victim is constantly being the one, not the fact that the person we're talking about who's trying to supposedly save her life is part and parcel of the conspiracy.
Okay. We have a situation where our men have always been.
I'm a social worker from New Jersey, and I read the book, and I believe in the book personally and professionally. And I just want to say that I'm a black woman with a black man, and I am in agreement, and I am appalled that we are here today trying to discuss black men and black women relationship, and all you black women that are sitting here in opposition are not thinking about coming together.
Well, it's hard to do that. Just stay with me for a second. Show him number 40. Show him number 40, Brian. Now, Ms. Ali thanks you for the support of your book. We need monitors here. Disrespectful language the black woman uses to address the black man. Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You're such a mama's boy. You ain't nothing, and you ain't never gonna be nothing. You don't tell me what to do. Men are dogs.
We have heard these comments in our home. I have heard my mother say to me, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Well, my right hand knows what I'm doing, and I'm not going to deal in that deception, and that's where we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, 100%. We got a problem here. For the women that this not apply to, it doesn't apply to. We got too many sisters here that this does apply to. Too many brothers here who read it. Our people have been de-Africanized. When you become de-Africanized, we didn't have this problem before we was dragged here. There's a reason why we're having it now. That's right. You understand?
Get you in a second. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The sisters in here who are in disagreement saying that the women, the backbone and everything, you have to look at the condition of the youth in America. Black men more in prison than in college and everything. You know what I mean? That's the women raise the children. So any disrespectful and bad attributes that they have, who did they get them from?
Who did they get them from?
They got them from the negative female on them.
Please let this gentleman make his point. I'll get back here. Sir.
I think one of the problems that we're having discussing this is a problem of balance. I grew up in a single-parent household with a very strong mother My mother was a young woman when I was growing up, and instead of going out and partying, it was disco days. She worked for 11 hours a day, and she kept us together. And I'm sorry, this is not a balanced picture that you're drawing here. I mean, black women, I'm sorry, I have nothing but respect and congratulations
the first
for
woman
them.
in 500 years, the first black woman. Wait a minute, this is important. Is it a balanced picture that I am the first black woman in 500 years to write a book in favor of the black man? Is that a balanced picture?
You're not the first woman to do. You keep saying that you're the first woman, but the world didn't begin with you. You're just trying to make money off of black women, and it's not right.
They want to talk about the Monet. They always want to talk about...
See, I think you have to understand that we, as black women who are in disagreement with your book, we support what you're saying. We have a problem with the dehumanizing imagery in that book and the fact that it denigrates so many of us.
We didn't like the delivery. The verb wasn't in the right tense. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. I'll get you in, I promise.
I didn't read the book, but it seems to me...
Thank you.
I didn't read the book, but it seems to me she is just trying to help all black women and black men.
Well, wait.
I'm not finished. But what I want to know is, I'd like to ask her and other black women and black men here.
Yeah, it's as though somebody wrote a book saying all women with red hair are wretched. You know, that's the way some see this.
Is it just working towards self-improvement, though?
Miss Ali?
That's absolutely
And what
not
came
the truth.
first?
It's a book telling us that all of this so-called political game, politics means policy, and the only place we can implement any permanent policy is in our homes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to remind black women to do.
Yes. Yes, please, Jesse.
That's Vivian Gardner's man.
Please let him make his point.
Well,
Sir.
one thing I want to speak about is the...
Please give him your attention.
One thing I want to speak about is the emotion of the black man.
Yes.
The black man is emotionally out of order, too, because of the black woman. We're not strong within ourselves. We have no sense of direction for ourselves. And this insecurity has been passed down to us from the black woman because the father has not been there for us.
Here's what she'll tell the child when the black man is not present, according to Shahrazad Ali. Show him 43, Brian. Here's how you depict black women alone at home with the kids. Your father don't care nothing about you. I'm the one who loves you.
That's when the man is not in the house with
That's what
the
I'm
child.
saying.
Yeah,
if he wanted you here, he'd be with you. Your father's a bum. He ain't got no job. He ain't got no nothing. Mr. Peterson, among others, steps forward to say that once you expose a child of any sex to that kind of rhetoric in childhood, they will grow up to disrespect the gender
That's
of
a
the
problem
person
we have
against
of
whom it's directed.
disrespecting our men in front of our children, and usually it's based upon because he does not give us money. We can't raise a child with just money. You have to have some guidance and some direction from the father. We must return to parental coalition. It shouldn't have anything to do with money. We use our children as a weapon against our men, and if they don't give us money, we don't even let them see
And
it.
you're saying in a large section of the black community, the black woman is emotionally beating up the male. Is
Yes.
this-
Yes.
We'll be back in just a minute. Make your point here. You've been very patiently
I think
listening.
that the major problem is that Miss Ali has been able to use media very well. What she says here sounds logical, but it's not in the book. It is not in the book.
Okay, tell us the difference, please.
The major difference in the book is it's almost 200-page diatribe against black women. There are not even 10 pages in the book that says anything positive about black women.
Can I explain that?
On the other
Go
side,
ahead,
there are no answers to the problem. There are no
Yes,
answers.
there are.
No. There are no answers in the book.
There's a lot of answers
She doesn't
in the
deal
book.
with the whole question of education. She doesn't deal with white supremacy. She doesn't deal with the political reality in the
We've
country.
dealt with all of those books, and ain't nobody read them. Our people haven't read the book. Our people are reading my book.
I have the answer for you. I have the answer.
No, she doesn't deal with the whole question.
Hold it, please. Thank you very much for giving your thoughtful attention to Mr. Motabu.
We cannot go back 100 years, Phil. We have to understand that what the brother said about balancing is very important. That is, you have 60% of head of households in black community headed by black women. These black women are at the lowest level.
Why are they alone, brother?
At the lower, because white supremacy has
That's nothing to, I mean, why don't they have a man?
Well, one of the major, the men are not there. That's why they don't have a man.
No, I know they're gone, but why did they leave?
No. The men did not leave. The men were forced out. See, you don't understand history. When we came out of integration and came in terms of the war on poverty, Johnson signed a bill in terms of aid to families and children, and that people could get the money, the women could get the money if the men were not there. The men were pushed out of the home by white people, not by black women. All right? Now, we must understand that this country has gone from, say, around 1900 to an agrarian-based, industrial-based economy to an economy today based upon services, information gathering, and new technology. White women came back into the economy in 1968, 1969, pushing black men out. An underground economy began to develop. The point I'm trying to make is that we cannot take a victim's view of our condition. And the victim blames the victim, rather than recognizing...
That's some of them white folks' psychology. We're not dealing with that anymore, brother. The time is up for that. We're on another whole different program now. No, we're not into that anymore.
I have the answer to our problem. What the black man is going to have to do is stop looking to the black woman for the answer. He's going to have to look at himself and overcome that problem that he has, and then take charge of his home.
And this is to tell him what he hasn't known about us. This is so he'll know what he's dealing with.
Is the caller there? Thank you for waiting. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, hello. I want to know whether or not Miss Ali is holding black women responsible for the failure of black men to stay in high school and college and to perform well and put themselves in a position to be economically independent and to take care of their families.
You don't like my
I'm
call?
not against the black woman taking care of her family. Certainly, we have some responsibility to help raise our children. I'm not saying that. See, the point is that this was not intended to be a book of balance to show the good points and the bad points of the black woman. This is to show that we are strong black women. But I'm saying we have used our strength in the wrong direction. We're using it against her. I didn't have to show it in that. You wrote your book the way you wanted to. Didn't nobody buy it. I wrote mine the way I wanted to, and it was the truth.
Are you there, caller?
And that's what the real issue is here. That's really what we're dealing with.
May I ask this caller to please make...
that book and the success of this.
I get it. Are you there, caller? Hi.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm deeply saddened by Miss Ali's book, and I just think that it reiterates some of the negativism that the majority populace in this country likes to constantly perpetuate that our community, the African-American community, is in. It's unfortunate that Miss Ali feels this way. I don't think it depicts the total African-American community and the way that it's existing today. I think that
all other people agree with, the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran.
Yeah.
I think that it reiterates myths about the African-American community that is not true, and it's just unfortunate this book is getting so much attention in the media because, again, I think it's getting the attention because it projects the African-American community negatively.
Hang on 1 second, please. Yes, ma'am. Please let this young woman make her case.
I think that woman expresses a lot of what black women feel about the book, which is that the book expresses a lot of negativism about, but we practice a lot of negativism. It has to be faced. We have to face what we do in order to change what we do. People spend millions of dollars every year with psychiatrists who sit them on a couch or lay them on a couch so that they can come to grips with what they do and live in reality. That's what we have to do. We have to face it. I read the book from cover to cover. I agree.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please. Yes.
Listen, now I have raised my children. I'm all through all this, but I've been reading the book, and I want to highly recommend it to black women, black men, and wait a minute, because that's a fine, upstanding woman on that podium over there, and she does not come here to downtrod her race. You can believe it.
Yes, sir. Hold it. Hold it for 1 second.
But see, one of the problems with the sister, the basis of her book, why she can't speak for all black women, because it's from a sectarian point of view. It's from an Islamic point of view. So, what do you mean that's noise now?
Brother, get out. All right. Okay. That's called denial.
Miss Ali, I agree with some of the stuff you're saying, but you're also saying that we are 50% and blame black women, and then white men are the other 50%. When are black men going to take responsibility for what they're doing? And then the other point is share your man.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Miss, yes, you did. Yes, Miss, you did too say it.
You wrote a book about it.
You did say it. I didn't read it. You did say it. Can I finish, please?
All right.
I got a break. We'll be back in a moment. You want to see the dress? You can't buy this book in every place, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. You're saying you'll never get on the New York Times because that's a white list, huh?
Right.
Show them the address. Those of you interested in this book that has just caused, is hit like a shot throughout the the African American community, and Ms. Ali would like you to know that you don't have to be a minority to read this, and lots of white folks are. At 2019 South 7th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or you can call the area code 215-339-0062. We're pleased to give you this opportunity to get a hold of this book, and you wanted to say.
Yes, my question is directed to Mr. Harputi and to the sisters in the audience. I've read that some of us are in jail, some of us are on addictive substances, some of us prefer a homosexual lifestyle, some of us do not face up to our responsibilities. My question is to you, sir, and the sisters in the audience, what is wrong with the black sister if the sister's book is a fallacy? What is wrong with you all? As evidence of your children. I'd like to hear from the sisters in the audience what is wrong.
You do not accept responsibility for 50% of the responsibility. What percentage do you accept, and how does it manifest?
Exactly, from the sisters. What is wrong with you all?
Yes.
Is anything wrong with y'all?
Yes.
Let me explain something to you right now. We're all in the same boat. I was just telling that to this brother right here. If you row in two different directions, you're going to go in circles, all right? That's number one. Number two, nobody forces you to do anything that you don't want to do. If you take the line of least resistance, that's the direction in which you move. Now, the way in which it manifests in terms of what's happening here right now.
What did we do wrong?
What did we do wrong?
What did we do wrong?
What we did wrong was carrying your behind for the last 15 to 5 years. No. On top of that, I have a son. I have a son. My son is in acting. My son is going to college. My son is doing quite well. I have a daughter in grad school. I'm a single parent, okay? Now, you as a black man are as responsible for standing on your 2 feet as I am responsible. And how it's manifesting right now is in this midst of confusion that we're dealing with.
Don't hedge the question.
No, I'm not cleaning anything up. I don't have to.
Very good.
You can see for yourself.
Now, here we have an example, Phil. If we stay in here long enough, every black woman I mentioned in this book will stand up.
Miss Ali, I truly hope that you make all of the money that you obviously want to make. Because this...
Why is she back on the mic? Now she want to show. Get that mic from her.
It seems to me... It seems...
There's a lot of people who haven't spoken.
It seems to me that you're behaving very much as the woman you described right this minute.
I'm a black woman raised in America, too. I am a black woman raised in America, too.
The real issue is that this is about a media event. White America has truly been entertained by the African-American community this afternoon. And I am very, very sorry that we are nothing more than fodder and blood money for you to make money on your book. This is a travesty and a shame.
Yes. Let me get somebody who hasn't had a shot here. Yes.
Come to my lectures. I'm doing them nationally and find out what I'm saying. Go ahead, brother.
Sister Ali,
yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you that sub means beneath and under, so it's very clever to say that it means to collaborate with. That's just not true. Secondly, if you're saying submit and subdue, that means under. And my question to you, I have 2 points to make. One, can you say that the sun is greater than the moon, or yang is greater than yin, or that the left brain is greater than the right? Well, that's been the problem with Western patriarchy. That's one thing. Secondly, I disagree with the model that you present. Now, the thing is this. Let me make my point. My point is that you have to present a model. We are in bad shape. We are in bad shape, and yes, the black woman has unwittingly contributed in some ways. I will admit that.
That's right.
But the model you have to present is one that presents a balance. I look at the black woman as the feminine representation of the supreme being, just like I'm the masculine representation of the supreme being. Okay? Now, that's an African perspective. If you have that as a model, then you can strive towards that. That's a balanced perspective. That's an African perspective.
And we'll be back in just a moment. The book about which we speak, which has caused such a stir, is The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. I'll tell you what, is it true you own bookstores and you're not selling it, Haki?
We will not push anything that advocates the black violence against black women.
Why did you push it at first?
We didn't push it at first.
I got checks that you signed, brother.
Let me explain something, Phil.
Yes, please.
Last year, about 60,000 books were published. Miss Ali wrote me in the beginning of the year and asked me would I help push her book. All right?
I
had not.
I wanted to let you know, brother. I was doing. I asked
Go ahead. I had not read the book.
Right.
Okay. After I read the book, we pulled the book off the shelves primarily because of the advocating violence against black women, number one, and number two, 90% of the book is incorrect when you're talking about black women.
Yeah, but you don't. Listen, if you're going to pull all the books off that are incorrect, you're going to have no shelves, nothing but shelves.
Wait a minute. Look, wait a minute, Phil. No. If a white woman had wrote the book, if a black man had wrote the book, or if a white man wrote the book, we wouldn't even be out here.
They're not qualified.
Right? It would be seen as racist, and the book would also be seen as a sexist book too.
Yes. Well, you know, it's a very...
One other thing. This book has done something for literacy in the black community that no other book has ever done for us. It's got all the black people reading.
All right. Black men obsolete, single, and dangerous with a question mark. Haki Matabuti's contribution to our dialogue here.
Phil, can I say something?
You should also know that we've got an answer. You're selling the answer to her book, but you're not selling her book.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the answer. Confusion by any other name.
That's a good
It's
title
a small
for that,
one.
so that's confusion.
It's a small.
Phil,
Just please.
Your producer asked me why is the black community. The producer asked me why is the black community responding to this book in such manner. It's because we're embarrassed. We're being exposed, and we have to start dealing with it, overcome the embarrassment of it, to deal with it, and stop blaming other people.
And we'll be back in a moment.
You said these are new ideas. You're the first to do this. And therefore, what evidence can you give me that this will work and not drive us and our women further apart?
You have to make that decision for yourself. I can't tell the black man that. You decide.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.